There are moments in history when words collapse under the weight of reality, when the headlines, the hashtags, the arguments, they all fail to explain what we're witnessing. The conflict between Israel and Gaza is one of those moments, because beyond the rubble, beyond the rockets, beyond the lives lost, something deeper is dying. Certainty. In a moral war, everyone believes they are right, and everyone has reasons, history, trauma, fear, justice. But when those reasons clash, when suffering multiplies, when children die, what does it mean to be right? Israel says, never again. Never again will we be powerless. The memory of genocide is carved into its national DNA. It builds walls. It launches strikes. It calls them defense. And too many. It is. Gaza says, we are dying every day. Under blockade, under drones, under silence. Resistance is not a choice, it's survival. And too many. It is. So the missiles fly, the bodies fall, and the world divides. Some pick sides, others look away. But something else is happening in the shadows of this war. A collapse not just of peace, but of clarity. Because this isn't just a military war, it's a moral one. And moral wars don't end in victory. They end in erosion of empathy, of truth, of the belief that we can ever really understand each other. Sartre once said, hell is other people, but maybe hell is what happens when we stop seeing people. When a child becomes a statistic, when a mother's cry becomes background noise, when destruction becomes a headline to swipe past. Both sides tell stories of betrayal, of blood, of sacrifice. And those stories are true. But truth is not a weapon, it's a mirror. And no one wants to look into it. Israel sees its survival as sacred. Gaza sees its resistance as righteous. But sacred and righteous don't stop bombs. They don't bury the dead. They don't comfort the orphan. Philosophy is supposed to help us think clearly. But what if clarity is the first casualty of war? What if there is no clean answer, only questions that cut deeper the more we ask them? What is self-defense when it kills the defenseless? What is justice when it ignores suffering? What is peace when it's only built for one side? And perhaps the hardest question of all, are we watching a tragedy or participating in it? The world watches, debates, posts, screams, but every opinion feels like a drop in an ocean of pain. And that's the death of certainty. When we realize that being right doesn't stop the wrong, that morality doesn't guide missiles, that justice without compassion is just another form of power. No one wins a moral war, because the battlefield is not just land, it's language, it's memory, it's humanity. And in the crossfire, we lose the very thing we're trying to protect, the soul. So what now? Maybe the answer is not to be certain. Maybe it's to be human, to look at suffering no matter whose it is and say, this matters. Not because of politics, not because of sides, but because pain is real and life is sacred. Mandela once said, if you want to make peace with your enemy, you have to work with your enemy. Then he becomes your partner. That's not idealism. That's courage. The courage to grieve, the courage to listen, the courage to resist not just violence but the narratives that keep it alive. Because in the end, the true victory is not in defeating the other, it's in refusing to lose ourselves.